is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. AFC North matchup, battle for first. Both teams are 4-2. Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson, comeback player of the year versus future MVP, second, whatever, right? Many people are putting Lamar Jackson in MVP conversation right now. Pump the brakes a little bit. I said it last night. Looking back at the stats, not so much. I don't care if Lamar Jackson has half of the yards than the rest of the NFL. So does Patrick Mahomes. So does Matthew Stafford. So does Kyler Murray. It doesn't really matter. That stat is minute to me. Lamar Jackson is still overrated and still trash in my mind as a quarterback. He's a great athlete. He's a great human being. He does great work in the community from what I see, giving backpacks to kids here in Louisville. They retired his number, etc. I'm not talking about him as a person or an athlete in general. I'm talking about a quarterback. He is a trash quarterback. And that's exactly what this game is going to come down to. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Battle of the quarterbacks, right? What is going to happen when the quarterbacks come out and battle each other? What's going to happen when Lamar Jackson realizes, hey, my left tackle, Ronnie Stanley, is out for the season? I have 3 34-year-old running backs in the backfield. I don't have a number one receiver, even though Hollywood Brown is starting to look like a number one receiver that he might be at some point. But hey, I'm giving you all the excuses that the Lamar Jackson fans are giving us right now. Every time Lamar Jackson performs, Lamar Jackson is the greatest quarterback ever, yada, yada, yada. When he loses, he doesn't have a number one receiver. He has a stable of old running back. His left tackle's hurt. We're going to hear all the excuses this week when the Cincinnati Bengals beat down the Baltimore Ravens. And why do I say that? Because the Cincinnati Bengals are going to force Lamar Jackson to throw the ball down the field. They are going to bring 7 guys in the box, play man-to-man, safety over the top, and they're going to force him to make decisions and make dime passes, meaning the balls need to be perfectly thrown for them to catch it, and it has to be 15-plus yards down the field. Looking at the stats on this year so far, Lamar Jackson passing is okay. He's 67.5% completion rating at a 131 for 194, and he has just under 1,700 yards passing. But here is the key factor to this matchup here. Many people want to give Jameis Winston he's throwing 30 interceptions, yada, yada, yada. I give you that. Patrick Mahomes has thrown 8 this year. Guess what, guys? Lamar Jackson has thrown 6 this year, just to 9 touchdowns. He is almost a 1-for-1 ratio touchdown to interception. Does that sound like a MVP caliber quarterback? Absolutely not. Now, the 1,700 yards and 6 games does. Yeah, that sounds great, right? I mean, what he is averaging, what is it here? Where's it at? 281 yards a game. Yes, those are great numbers. But when you are playing catch up, it is easy to pad the stats. Name me one time besides the Indianapolis game on Monday night that Lamar Jackson had to come back from behind and from a deficit and win a game. I think the Colts game was an apparition for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson, because every time Lamar Jackson has to play from behind, his butthole puckers, and he is just a bad quarterback. He forces the ball down the field. He's very inaccurate, very indecisive, and he's always run first, pass second type of player. You can say what you want. When it's crunch time, butthole puckers, Lamar Jackson is not a very